Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 79 of the Yarnivore Podcast. I am Sadie, I am your hostess, and I am trying to fix my hair, but there's no hope for this. It's just going to be this way. And I should probably think of dyeing it a different color, because orange seems to be what it's doing, and I hate being orange. I did over dye on top of it some red, and it stayed around for a while, and now it's, doing its thing. Right. I've actually got a fair bit of stuff going on this time, so we're going to jump right in. I have two finished objects. That's Sassy. For everyone who wanted to know and meet the puppy, that's Sassy, except that Kachansky, the cat, is like right here somewhere. Where are you? You'll see her. She's on the roam here, and Sassy is also on the roam. There's a husband. Hopefully he doesn't roam. But he's actually having a nap, so we should be good. Right, two finished objects. The first finished object I finished with much fanfare was the Building Blocks shawl by Stephen West. It was a mystery knit-along, which is when I started it 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago. But look at this last one. The last one is like massive, okay? This thing, I'm not going to block it until spring or summer because it'll take forever to dry. But look at this. I wish it were longer, I wish there were more, I wish this distance was longer as opposed to the width. It's super widthy, but not so much with the longy. It is comfy, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on it, however, it is long enough that even though I'm big, I can wrap it around and tie it behind me like those Danish ones. So that is kind of cool. That is kind of cool about this, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sold. Hello, Kachansky. So, yeah. Go lay down. Sassy, go. So, yarns used. Let's see if I can remember this off the top of my head. The peachy color is Knitter's Nightmare Giant Base in the Supernova colorway. The green is Malabrigo Sock in Lettuce. The gorgeous purple is Hedgehog Yarns in the Pomegranate colorway. And the lovely red burgundy color here is Flapdoodle Jive by Soft Like Kittens. So it is wonderful, and I will block it, but I don't know. However, I think this is the second oldest whip on my needles, and having that off, I felt so good. I'm doing a needle clear out, and I will show you why further on, but basically, I'm trying to get as many things off my needles as I can so that I can clear out my bag, so that I can start the new year fresh. Apparently I'm into that this year. Usually I don't give a crap, but this year, all about freshness. Air fresheners. I am an air freshener. But all the ends are woven in, it's all done, it's all ready to be blocked. I'm just not blocking it for a while. I like the colors. I will probably wear it, probably not with this hair. It clashes horribly. I usually don't care about that. Whee! Over there. So the other thing I finished, and the Building Blocks shawl eventually became a Building Blocks set. You can do a blanket, you can do sleeves or arm warmers. There's a hat, I think. Stephen West really went crazy with the Building Blocks, and I think I just wasn't feeling them, and I know I wasn't feeling them when I finished, but I finished. Next up, out of the Knitting Around by Elizabeth Zimmerman, my OG, I did the Sideways Mystery Mittens on 2 needles and garter stitch, and I used a 3 or 3.25 millimeter needle with hand spun. This is Cheviot, and the colorway is Geisha. It was a Spunky Eclectic Club, and I will tell you that it turned out way too big for me, but they do fit my husband, so he gets them and he will wear them, and they will keep him warm on his drives to work. You can't wear them in uniform, but whatever. So I will be doing another pair slightly smaller for me. As you can see, it's just a bit too big, just a bit. I like mine to have negative eaves and these have a little bit of positive eaves, and that's the problem, but they're really cool. I also did, I think I should have stopped doing increases and I kept going. So that is also my problem that I need to fix. But it's a recipe and you get used to it. It's kind of like, she did the baby surprise jacket, and you know how that kind of looks like a manta ray until you're done? Hey! One moment. Sorry about that, but it was a pen, so she can't have it to play with. Okay, so hand spun Chevy, I believe. Spunky Eclectic Geisha colorway. It was a club that I got a year or two ago, 3 years maybe. However, yeah, I just need to stop increasing sooner so I don't get this weird little nubbin. And yeah, I followed the pattern. I know Flibberty Gibbet Bunny, Flibberty Gibbet Bunny, or Flibberty Gibbet. I'm adding bunnies to things. Oh, and thank you for the Christmas card, Julie. Anyway, Flibberty Gibbet did these and did a 1x1 rib for the cuffs, and I really liked that. I might try and do that on my next pair. I will do a next pair because I want a pair for me. But they are done. And they can be found in the Knitting Around by Elizabeth Zimmerman, which has many great patterns or pattern recipes. I've always kind of wanted to knit one of these bog jackets for myself. I may have to try that. There is some math involved because it is a recipe, so it might be a while because my head is not into math. But there's a little baby one that is completely charted. Without showing too much, it's there and it's adorable, and I might make one of those just because I want to see how the construction works, and I think making a small one, I would know how to make a bigger one. I do have the book that has the adult surprise jacket in it. I don't have the surprise jacket book, but in the Schoolhouse Press letters, she did have the recipe for an adult surprise jacket, so I might try and do that for myself. I really like it. It's just I have to go up to like an Aran weight, and it's a bit much for me. Right. So, things I've been working on. First off, the Desert Vista Dye Works sock for the month of December. I finished my first one last night. I'm feeling pretty good about it. And here it is in all of its glory. Grab a sock blocker here. Yes, that fuzzy tail is here. Kachansky, you are not graceful, my girl. You're adorable, but graceful you are not. She's like, whatever, I'm examining things. So here's the first one. It's the War of the Worlds colorway. I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel, which I don't do that often, but I felt like playing around, and I figured I didn't feel like doing an afterthought heel, and I didn't know which color I would do it in. So I picked up I started on this red part here. I just picked up at the end of the skein and knit the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and then I just continued onward. So this is backwards from the end of the skein. The outside of the ball. Here, I have the ball. I can show you. This is the Zine base, is it? Or the Viso? Viso. Zine is the sparkly, Viso is not. 75 superwash merino wool, 25% nylons, approximately 462 yards in the War of the Worlds colorway. So I took from the outside this part when I did the heel, so that I didn't have to break anything, and that meant I only had 3 ends to weave in instead of 4 with my traditional afterthought heel. Bless you. She's adventuring. As long as she doesn't knock anything over, I'm fine. So the first one's done. I'll probably be starting the second one tonight. I have, what, half a month to finish the other one, so I'm not worried at all. I'm using a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, I believe. Yes. Okay, someone's cutting a tree. I was like, what is that? It's a chainsaw. Because that's where I live, people. Out in the boondocks. So, first one's done. Second one will get started tonight. I will have these finished. I decided to do the next year if she does it, which would be the 4th annual. So, if she does it, I don't know. Don't quote me. I am really lost on news right now because since the husband's been home and I've had so many various appointments and such. And just a heads up, I have gallstones. And I didn't, okay, my mom has had her gallbladder out, my brother's had his gallbladder out. I thought I would escape this because my other brother seems to be impervious to it. No, I have gallstones and I'm going to have my gallbladder taken out. So I've had a bunch of stuff I've had to do for that. And yeah, so not as up on the news as I would like. Also, 'tis the season to ignore life and just watch YouTube, which is what I've been doing. So while I am caught up on most podcasts, there are some I'm a bit behind on. I'm still, yeah. I just want to do stuff, but for the most part, I'm in pain. So, in my Fat Squirrel Fibers bag, that was also a Fat Squirrel Fibers bag, that was the sock size. I am working on, I want to have this done by the end of the year so bad. Oh, I'm wearing the calligraphy cardigan. It is out of Madeline Tosh, and I forget what colorway it is, but it's pretty. I am doing the Marco Polo, which looks something like that, which you have seen on many other podcasts, so really it should be no surprise to you. I am using Soft Like Kittens in the Muscat colorway, Muscat in the Burnished Sport, and I'm using Siren Sport by Knitter's Nightmare in the Grey Havens colorway because, hey, everything should be a Lord of the Rings reference. Back here is probably more true to life. And I think purple and gray. I was talking about it with Tracy, and I have a pair of mittens. I'm doing Spilly Jane Colorwork mittens, the girl with the mechanical heart, and those are purple and gray. I believe they're also Muscat, but I'm using like this off gray Croy. It's almost a brown. I think it might be flax, but I'm like, if I make a gray and purple hat, I would actually color coordinate all the way down wearing these things. So I'm gonna have to be careful of that. So here is where she is at. Marco Polo is a girl because I'm wearing her. I don't know. The sleeves were separated a long time ago. I'm almost at the bottom where I get to start the shaping because it bells down. And I'm getting there. I think I've got two more. I finish this one and I do one more gray one and then I do the bell. This is true to color back here. I'm really loving the way it's coming out. I think it's going to be wonderful and warm, and it's pretty easy. I think the hardest part was getting the sleeve set in because they are a contiguous set-in sleeve. There's some serious construction going on here. Let's see if I can get it to show. Right there. See, because you knit down and then you've got all these sleeve things you do here. That was a lot of work. I remember that being a lot of work and thinking, oh my, I'm gonna screw this up really bad. But it ended up coming out nice and I'm very excited about that. So the sleeves are done. This is by Ella Torrente. It is a pattern that you can purchase on Ravelry, which is what I did. Oh wait, hold on. What needles am I using? I know I'm using Knit Picks needles. I believe there are 4. US 6, which is a 4mm, isn't it? Because the 7's a 4.5. And holding steady in the bag, really loving it. I have 2 things that are really great for not thinking, which is the socks, because it's just the pinstripe pattern, so slip 1, knit 7, slip 1, knit 7, next row, knit all the way around. And that's the pinstripe pattern or recipe on Ravelry. It's free. I'm not hurting anybody there. And then I've got the cardigan, which is super easy, which is why I had no problem knitting the mitts. The mitts are a bit technical, and I screwed the first one up really bad. But the second one was good, and now that I've made 2, I know what's going on, so I can pretty much make them like clockwork. Pretty much the same way let me just say pretty much one more time. The same way you do with the baby surprise jacket, where you've knit it the first time and you're like, I don't get it. And then when you like flip it up and you're seaming it, you're like, whoa, what happened? And your subsequent baby surprise jackets, you aren't as worried about the fact that it looks like a giant manta ray, and you know that there's that aha moment of kitten crazies. She's 8. She behaves like a kitten. I love it. What are you doing? Hey. She's sniffing fiber. The downfall of Kochanski, whom I love, is that she's very into yarn and cables. So she has attacked a few knitting needles and a few knitting projects, but only the hanging yarn. Not actual knitting. She doesn't care about the sweater. She just wants the yarn. I will have to break her of that. The last thing that saw some work is something I had been working on for a long time, and I put it down because you do. And it is the winter season, so it's time to pick it back up, and that is the mitered square blanket. And so my big plan is to knit 4 squares and then seam them together so that the miters all go outwards, because that's how my brain functions. Right, my girl? Like, oh, you just talked to me. Come on. You want to come say hi? Everybody loves you. Yes, we talked about you a lot. And thank you, everybody, for loving on the Kochanskers. Come on. Come say hi. Meow. She's very talkative. She likes to meow a lot, but it's a very quiet meow. Like, meow, you're here. Meow, I'm here. Meow, there's food. Meow, meow, meow. She does need to lose a little weight. She's a bit on the bigger side. Her toys are in the kitchen. She prefers the kitchen because the linoleum, she can really bat things around. Anyway. So, mitered square blanket. Picked it back up, and it's caught on my button. Come here. Thank you. So, picked it back up. I got, what is it, 3 blocks finished? Okay. We're over here. I got... This one, and this one done. I think this one is an Andre Sue knits. This one is Desert Vista Dye Works and the Last Unicorn, and I believe this one was from Dawn Knit and Wolf. Maybe this winter I'll actually get a square finished. I think I want to only add a few more on this length because it's going to be half the length. I want it to be a really big blanket I can curl up with a hubby on the couch with, so I think I'll add like 2 more squares going that way, and then I'll just build it down. And then I'll probably do it so that it's at my waist to my feet, and then add a little more because it's going to be rectangular. So I have it in my head. It sounds crazy right now, but I'm just going to go a little further in one direction on each of them so that I get a longer than wider. I don't want a full-on square. I want the blanket shape. So, but it's coming, and I did a couple one night and that felt really good, so I'm going to keep doing that because it does give you the whole I finished a thing feeling. And man, I like finishing a thing. I tell you, I'm in a mood where I want to finish all the things. All the things. Okay, there we go. Fold it all back. I've got it all hanging out in my DVD tote, which makes it easy. I can just rummage through, pick a color, and go on in and get her done. So that's awesome. Now, one of the reasons I told you I wanted to finish all the things is because I've basically got... Throw those in there now. I've basically... So husband had duty, goes on the ship for 24 hours, so he doesn't come home at night, and I don't... An adjustment period where I wasn't used to having him home, now I'm not used to having him going away, and now it's all kind of schmalzly. So I was keeping myself busy. So what did I do? I decided to match yarns with patterns and plan, because I've been on Instagram and people are like, oh, I'm gonna make this, or oh, I'm gonna make that. And then I saw Pam and Kaya's finished Sunset Highways, and I have the yarn for that, the yarn and the needles, and it's all ready to go. And I was like, okay, I've got one, but what if I want more? Like when I finished the Marco Polo, all I've got is the winter wheat, and that is a fingering weight, and I do want to get that done too, so I'm gonna like bust a move on it. But what about other stuff, right? This is Bad News Bears. So let me show you some of the things I've got lined up for January. January is going to be Start Every Bloody Sweater for No Reason. That's what I'm calling it. Start every top for no reason, because some of them are not sweaters. And so if that doesn't interest you, you feel free to leave. But if it does interest you, as it would interest me, let's just run through some of the things I've set aside here, without knocking things over. This one isn't set in stone. I have most things planned, but I might end up getting a different alternate. I'm not 100% sure yet, because I have one that's really close. But the Nenial Chick Swan Show that everybody has seen, I'm sorry, I ran out of color ink, that's what you get, in DK weight. I don't have a lot of one-off DK, but I do have a crap ton of this, which is gorgeous. It's very close to the color I'm wearing. It's a hunter green or a dark, dark teal. If I pull it back here, it's reading more true, but it comes out a little more blue than it is. It's a lot more green. This is Tove 2 Trads Ullgarn by Sandnesgarn, which is Norwegian? Swedish. I don't know. I'm horrible. I'm horrible. That's where it's from. It doesn't tell me. It says produced Sandnesgarn from Sandnes. Sandnes? Where's Sandnes? Either way, love the color. It has a number. It does not have, those are its numbers. I've had it for a while, a long, long while. And so that's going to be the body color. And then for contrast, I have this gorgeous DK. Pull it back here. Yes, there we go. Which is a purpley color. It's naturally dyed logwood from We Will Tell You All of Our Secrets, which of course is Caitlin French. And it's cochineal and logwood, mordanted with alum. I love the hand dyed, or the handwritten, it's canvas is what it is. Naturally dyed in the Coast Salish territories, autumn 2013, so I've had it for a while. I love it, and I think that would be great. And then I have, like, this is like super old stash, man. This is Butternut DK from Fat Squirrel Fibers. That's how old that is. Here we go. Pumpkin Puss's House in the walnut base. Sorry, I thought it was butternut. It's walnut. Walnut base. So these are good contrasting colors, I think. Right? Like these three, I can dig. Here's the one that I'm not 100% sure on. It is Blackberry Ridge Woolen Mill DK in the dark opal colorway. And it's very bright. And I'm just wondering if it's too close to that. Although right now it's not reading too close to that. So then, yeah, I will use my head. That would be the set of yarns. So tell me, should I ditch this one and get something different? Or no, not that one. This one. Ditch that one and get something more different? I don't know. I really like this. I think it's nice, but I'm very worried that that's just too close. And I don't know which portion I would trade out. Like, I would put it so there's no way it wouldn't touch this. So is it enough? Is it contrasty enough, or should I go out and just buy a skein of DK somewhere? Is my question. However, I consider that one ready to go. There are two that I have almost everything for, but they need a contrast or something. I have breathing space planned, but I don't have the contrast for it. The one I was going to use, I felt the yarns were not similar enough, and I thought that would make it off-putting. Basically, if I've got a 80-20, I don't want to put a 75-25 next to it because it looks too thin. That's my issue. Okay. Then, next up, this is probably going to be one of the first ones I cast on. I'm not going to lie to you. Although, looking now, I know that this is wrong because these are too big. So, okay, put those aside. This one is not ready yet. I thought it was, but it's not. I thought this yarn was smaller than it was, but it is not. But I can go and get, I think it's, I only need 328. Yeah, I only need like 1 or 2 skeins of Sport. And it's Waru. And Waru is by In a Panda's World. Do we have one that doesn't have any pattern on it? No, we don't really. Okay, let's see if I can fold this strategically. There we go. It's striped at the top, and then it's plain. It's got a great boat neck with some button detail, which I love. And so I decided that the body is going to be out of the frogged yet much loved Great Tale of Grackle, Mrs. Crosby's hat box. And I was going to run it with some skeins of Electric Funeral I had, which would have worked really nice. Maybe I should just dye some. That would look really nice, don't you think? But this appears to be too big. It's got to be... It must be worsted, because if it was DK it would work, but I don't think so. So anywho, I've got the one color. I need 300 meters. The thing about this one is it is written, she's French, I think. Yes, she's French. So it's all done in centimeters and meters. So all the bust measurements are centimeters, and all of the yardage needed is given in meters. The gauge is a little bit different, so that is something I will have to double check on. The cool thing is there's a hip adjustment. So Tracy, I know you always talk about your butt. You can do a hip adjustment on this one, so you might want to pick it up. And Melina Hami is who wrote it. I really want to do this one, so I might pick up the yarn. Like this was on, and it's in my Mina bag. I might have to just pick up some yarn for that. Then I've got this one, which might be a bit controversial, but I don't care. It's the Grandpa Cardigan by Joji Locatelli. As you can see, this is where this is where my printer gave out with the color. It's got a lot of pattern, and I've decided that I like the printed pattern better for myself because that's who I am as a person. And it's got these glorious cables, and I love it, and I like Joji Locatelli and all of her stuff. And here comes the controversial part. I'm going to be using an acrylic yarn for this because I figure I will probably wear it a lot. And I have like a crap ton of this. I got it on sale at Michael's. It's Isaac Mizrahi's Craft, put out by Premier Yarn, made in Turkey, and I believe it's 100%. It's 50% merino wool, 50% acrylic. So it's a 50-50, which is probably why it's so nice. I was worried that this was 100% acrylic, it was going to cause an uprising, but it's actually 50% wool. It's what I have enough of, and I really want to use it. I'm really into using my stash, and I have a lot of sweater quantities, and I want a lot of sweaters out of it. I am over shawls right now. I just have absolutely no drive to do shawls. I have one shawl on the needles that I want to work on, but I'm just not, I've got too many right now. That's my problem. And I want to make more garments because, okay, we're going to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant is, I've lost a lot of weight. I did it on purpose. I did it for my health. And I don't feel that I need to justify why I did it, but I just want to say that I had absolutely no problem with how big I was. And it wasn't about not liking who I was. It was about needing to be healthy. And subsequently, I have lost 70 pounds since the beginning of the year. And which is great. It has helped me health-wise, and that's what I was looking for. But that does mean that, okay, so when I moved to the States, there's a very different lifestyle in the States, and I ended up gaining 80 pounds. And so now I'm taking it off, and I'm getting back to where I was, which means that the sweater quantities that I bought back in the day, or in the middle of the day when I still thought I was the same size, but I really, really wasn't, I can use now, which is very wonderful for me. So that is why I'm like forking it all out. And I've gotten some sweater quantity gifts, and I love that, so I want to make them too, because I love that. Okay, so tangent over. Love your body. It doesn't matter what size you are. I'm still big. I'm still big. I'm still a XX or an XL, no matter how you slice it. I still am in the 200-pound range. Like, the bloom is off the rose. I'm probably not gonna get into the hundreds, and if I do, it's gonna be the really high hundreds. But I don't. My body couldn't handle it, and I need to be healthy. So yeah. Be big, be proud, be beautiful. End of tangent. That's the only time I'll be addressing it. And so next up is the Larch Cardigan by Amy Christophers, however you want to say it. I think she did the Pomme de Pin. Yes, she did the Pomme de Pin. Apparently I'm just down with her right now. And it's this lovely one. It's very simple. It's very plain. It's got the 2-button closure. I'm cool with the 2-button closure now because that's cool to me. And I will be using this stuff, which I didn't take out of its storage bags. These are storage bags. It's what I do. Where are you? There you are. And I will be using, this is the funny thing, Mom bought this for me ages ago. Ages. Come here. Come here. This is 100% Blue Face Luster. It's the BFL Sports in the Haida colorway. Haida, of course, being the Aboriginal people of British Columbia. It's gorgeous. It's part of the Raven series. It's blues, blue undertones with a black overlay. It's just gorgeous. And I think it will go great in the simplicity of the Larch cardigan. I know why everything's in bags, because I had a freak out during Fleamageddon. Back in the day when when Bebop was sick and he brought home fleas. To be known as Fleamageddon, and that was 2 Christmases ago. I can remember that still. So, Larch cardigan. That one's going to be super simple, and I'm looking forward, like, I mean, yes, the Grandpa cardigan is 90% cables, probably 100% cables. I've got some really simple ones also to go in there, so I like that. I like that they're simple and there's really complex. It works for me. Up next, another favorite of mine, new favorite, is Vera Valimaki, and it's the Confetti sweater. Because again, stripes, I told you, stripes. So for this one, I have Anzula Luxury Fiber Hand-Dyed Squishy, which is an 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon in the Herb colorway. It's a little bit greener. It's kind of a greenish gray almost, in my mind, but I love it. And this is going with the previously frogged. Oh, sure, let me just pull off part of the tag. It's Dream and Color Smooshy 100% Superwash Merino in the Hot Safari Days colorway, and I thought these would pair well together, and they really do. Like, look at how pretty that is. So pretty. So I'm excited about that. So excited about that. And then I'm going to be doing breathing space out of this stuff too, and it just needs a friend. I was going to use the frogged neon pencil, but it's in a different, it's in a 75-25 base, and I want it to be in an 80-20 because this has the 80-20 poof. So, but Confetti, and I love the name. All of these are getting cast on in January, I guarantee you. And there'll probably be more, because I've got the Flea cardigan that I want to do, and the Breathing Space, which just need yarn, and I can see myself ordering the yarn to finish it up. Then, last but not least, we have the, ooh, that picture. The picture does nothing for it, but it's the Jelly Roll sweater, and I know everyone has seen it. It's by Mary Catherine Briner, aka Orange Knits, and I will be doing the XL size, so here are my thoughts. And again, I'm not 100% sold on everything, so I'm going to be using magenta Tosh sock as my base. This is going to be the body and everything around it. One of the contrasts is going to be Fiber Stories Songbird in the Fave Sock base, which is 100% superwash merino. This is 100% superwash merino, so we got those two. They're both a very similar base. And then I'm thinking this one, which is Knitty in Color Acoustic Sock, which is an 80/20 superwash merino nylon. Now, I'm not 100% sold on this one, but looking at it, I kind of like it. What do you think? I think it could work. I think it could work. I like it. And this one is burned at both ends, which I got at SSK. So, yes. This is actually a lot more purple, the bottom one, but it's not reading as purple, I don't think. But I think I should have something way more contrasty there. I don't know. Either way, that is going to be the Jelly Roll sweater. I have a mixture of sweaters and cardigans because I'm enjoying sweaters right now, and I'm actually in a... The weird thing is, living in the Pacific Northwest, you can wear a sweater. What I found in Canada, or my problem with where we lived in Canada, and even in Minnesota, was that I would wear a sweater and then I would go into a building and it would be heated, and I would be overheated by the sweater. Here they don't seem to do that, so I'm rocking it and I'm loving it. So those are all my sweater plans, and I want to, so do tell me, like either post on the YouTube or post in the Ravelry group. I have to get better at that. Again, I'm sorry, life has been completely nuts since November, and yeah, I'm just gonna try and pick out the rest of the colors, because I really think it's gonna be socks and it's gonna be tops. That's really where I'm going, because I'm just not feeling... I like cowls too. There might be a couple of cowls. There's a couple colorwork cowls I really like. And maybe more mittens. I just think shawls need a break. I think I've burnt myself out on shawls, and I think that happens to everybody. So it's not just me. And yeah. I did get some sewing magazines, and I was going to show you the fabric I picked up in Canada in November, but I feel like this has been a long enough episode, so I'm just going to tag that on to the next episode. Hopefully I will record once more before the new year. I don't expect anyone to watch it at that point, but it's more like so I have it done. But I hope you have had a great December. I hope you're having a happy Hanukkah. If you celebrate, as we are on the second night tonight, I believe. This may go up on the third night. But either way, we've started Hanukkah, so happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Happy... Is there a Ramadan right now? Kwanzaa. Yule. Solstice. Happy everything to everyone. And I will see you again next time. Bye.